Alright guys, you ready for another recap video? This is Joe, the 50-something Dasher, recapping today's gig work for Thursday, January 16, 2025. Woke up early this morning and logged into the apps like just after 5 o'clock in the morning. And first offer comes across at 524, $12, 10 miles. Pardon my cheesesteak. I don't know. This just wasn't enough to entice me to head out the door just quite yet. Let's kind of wait here and see. So then about 6 minutes later, I get the offer again with $2 added to it. And so I was like, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it for 14. Let's go ahead and do this. So I went, just had to wait just a minute or two on the order. And it's funny, it was two, the meals were called 2 by 2 by 2. And the customer ordered two of those. And I didn't really look at the like the items. There was like a message on this order or instructions from the customer. Please verify everything is there, but I really couldn't on this order because they handed me the order in tied sacks and everything was in styrofoam containers. So I'm not going to untie those sacks and open up the customer's containers to see that there's like two eggs and two sausage links or whatever the case. So I couldn't verify, but I did receive two sacks of food. And then that delivered at 5:56. So Uber doesn't give me the payout, so I have to take various different screenshots to get my time stamp. And I did I did receive the full tip on this. So the breakdown was 846 base pay and 558 was the tip on that. So this took me 26 minutes for $14. So pretty good on that. This was the decline. $5.70 for 11 and a half miles. Buckeye Donuts, South High Street. I don't think I'm familiar with that. I'm pretty sure I've never picked up from there before. But that was a decline. I took this screenshot. I had just gotten back into Zone, and when I got the Uber order, I just logged off of DoorDash, and then I tried to log back in when I hadn't got the Zone yet, and got this error message: we are unable to start your dash at this time due to get dasher time slots not authorized was the reason. Please try again later. And which I really should not ever have any issues getting on because I'm a lifetime platinum status driver. But this really wasn't any major issue. I just waited until I got back into Zone and got parked, and basically just closed down the app, reopened it, and I was able to jump right back on. So that was it was no big deal. But still thought that was kind of interesting that I got that error message. And then a couple minutes later, another decline, another upside down order, 563 for 6.7 miles Wendy's, decline. And I guess this one, is that the same one? Or I'm not sure. I just already closed out the other one, but still upside down, decline this one, 648, 6.9 mile Wendy's. I went ahead and took this 10:25 IHOP, 7 miles. Um, Going in you see on the map in the direction of the hilltop, but not quite, kind of like in between there and the fringes of my zone. And it's still dark outside. I was a little bit concerned about the delivery on this, but it ended up not being bad. It was a well lit street with it was I delivered to a home. The customer met me outside. This was easy. And then I got this offer before I had a chance to shut down Uber. It's 757, 5.7 miles, but I was already on the DoorDash order, so declined this and shut down the Uber. So there I delivered at 6:48. So this was what was this, 28, like 29 minutes, and made 10.25. So that's, that's acceptable. 2.25 from DoorDash, $8 tip. And this is what this customer did here. Maybe this guy was a DoorDash driver as well, but that's typically the least amount that I will tip when I place an order for myself. Typically $8 at least is what I tip, and then that way I know for sure that the driver is going to get at least, like, I want him to get at least $10 for delivering to me. Then next was a absolutely $6, only 2.5 miles, McDonald's, quick little banger order. So went ahead and took this, and I don't remember now where this particular order, I don't remember where it delivered. But and delivered that, just what, this took me 11 minutes. 11 minutes to make the $6. So I'll I'll do that. I said in some of my earlier videos, this is probably like a year ago or so, in my videos I said that if I could be an exclusive McDonald's delivery driver, I would do it. I do these short little $6 to $8 orders like all day long if I could. Just, run an order, 2 miles, drop it off, boom, come back to McDonald's, pick up another one, little 10-minute runs if I could, but it's, we all know that's not possible. And just wasn't gonna mess around with this. I wasn't gonna mess around with $4 orders or less today. So I know it's only a mile and a half, but still, just, $4. I just didn't want to mess with it. Didn't want to mess with that high paying offer. um, Upside down, $8 for 13-mile IHOP. No. This I went ahead and took, $6 McDonald's, only 2.5 miles. This ended up going to the W2. And I was just, a block away from the McDonald's, and picked that up, run it down the street to the W2, easy of a run as could be. So I dropped that off at 7:28. So that was 10 minutes flat. 10 minutes start to finish, $6. Easy. This was probably gets my vote for the worst offer that I saw today out of all my declines. I tell you what, it felt like today that I had a fairly decent day today, and you'll see the final numbers at the end of the video, but it kind of felt like at times I was like dodging through a minefield here with all these declines to get to some decent orders. I mean, I declined a lot today. And like I said, this was probably the worst one. $8 for 21 and a half miles, delivering two flower orders. You kidding me? And the I don't know, that one to the east, that one delivery, that might even be like possibly OSU campus area. And then the other one's like north of Hilliard, and for $8, this is insanity right here. Um, I I don't know. Even if wherever this pickup location is, even if there was a driver sitting right there at the pickup, and which would have shaved like, I don't know, let's just say 5 miles off of this. Even still, $8 for 16 miles and two deliveries, it's still insane. Um, Upside down, $6, 9 miles, Starbucks decline. Um, $7, 11 miles, Taco Bell going to the hilltop. Say it with me, folks. Absolutely not. Decline. Another $4 order, decline. $4, 2.5 miles, McDonald's. Not doing it. Um, and then this was, I guess, if it just wouldn't have been for the second customer that's out east, I mean, maybe this would have been good. But 13.50, two orders, shopping 13 items. It's Giant Eagle. I have to go through a staff register. It's just this order. It just wouldn't have been worth it. Um, and I would have needed for this to be worth it as far as time wise here. A $13 order. Ideally, you'd like to have done in about maybe like 20 minutes, start to finish, 25 minutes. And there was no way this was going to happen in like 25 minutes. No way. $7, 5 mile Starbucks, not worth it. I think that was we just had that a previous decline and they added to it, but that's still not taking that. Here's one of those. Here's the, I think just one of those flower customers maybe. No, that can't be right because that would mean the other one would just pay, or it could be just the one and they like added money to it. Maybe on that, when it was stacked with the other one, maybe it was like $5. I'm guessing something like that. And then they broke the two orders up and added a couple dollars to the one. But yeah, it's still upside down, still a decline. Another $4 order, decline. $12 Walmart, 8 miles, not messing with it for $12. Finally, I get something I take. Okay, so now we got Walmart, a $20 order, 9 miles, two deliveries, but you see the two customers are really close to each other. So I went ahead and took this, and kind of the only thing about Walmart is you have no idea what size of orders you're dealing with here. That's the bad thing. So I get there, I park, I wait just a minute, probably only a minute or so. Guy comes out, and a huge stack of the blue totes. It had to have been at least 12 either 12 or maybe 14 of these blue totes, stacked up on the cart. And I looked at the labels for the customer names, and there was two columns of these totes. The right side top one had one customer, all the other totes was the other customer. So one huge gigantic order, and then the other customer was like almost nothing, two little sacks that had some GM freight in it. And then the other customer was like a month's worth of groceries. But hey, as long as it'll fit in my car, and okay, so for $20 order, if I can get this done in under an hour, no matter how many sacks it is, that's what I'm shooting for. Less than an hour. So here's a picture of the larger customer. So I use both, and I don't have Uber branded insulated bags. So I use my DoorDash bags. So I put all of the cold stuff in the two DoorDash catering bags, and then one of my delivery bags, and then the rest you see the catering bag sitting on a case of water, and then all the loose sacks. There must have been like 100 sacks. They had like at least 6 or 7 items where there was just one item in a sack. And they could have combined some stuff. I mean, it was just, it looks like a mess in my trunk, and it was a mess. And then, so here's the other picture. The other catering bag. This standard hot bag that was empty. That was just, I just didn't have anywhere else to put it. And then in the front seat, the other delivery bag. There you see my wagon, and I didn't have to use the wagon on this order because I backed into the customer's driveway, and my trunk was pretty close to their front door, so I didn't have to use the wagon. And then you can see on the floor behind the passenger seat is my DoorDash stickers that I haven't used those forever. I haven't had a need to use those stickers, and God, it's been months. And there is, so there's the timestamp for when I delivered everything. The first delivery was the large order, and the customer was cool. At first I set my first trip, I set it down on the ground, and a minute or so later he comes out, and from that point on he took stuff from me and took in the house, and I had to make about, it's probably at least like 7 or 8 trips back and forth to my car. And then the other customer was just like a half a mile away, something like that, really close, and was just two light little sacks. Delivered that at 8:32, and I delivered that. Where's it at? I actually got 2 of them. Here we go, right here. So those delivered to 2 0 tipping customers. There you go. There's my tips on the Walmart orders. Thank you very much. So that paid, the first one, the large order, paid me $10.60, and then the other one was $9.45. Wouldn't be surprised if those started out at like $4 or $5, and Uber had to keep adding money to that until I got it. But tip or no tip, I mean, I made $20 from, I got the offer at 7:46, delivered that at 8:32. So that's what is that? Like 46 minutes. So still did good on that order, even though it was 0 tips. when I got back to zone, my dash had ended. So because it was over 35 minutes, so so that my first dash was 2 deliveries, $16 in 40 active minutes. So that was at 8:32. Then I decided to. I had some paperwork that I needed my doctor's office to fill out so I could return to work. And I wasn't sure, depending on how things were going, if I was real super busy, then I just keep things rolling and maybe go up to the doctor's office at the end. And I just kind of see how it went. Well, after I dropped off the Walmart order, that seemed to be kind of like a good stopping point. I had a bunch of declines. I wasn't real busy, wasn't doing too great. So let's switch gears here. Let's head up to Hilliard to the doctor's office. I decided to just keep DoorDash off and leave Uber on and see what kind of offers that I get like along the way to the doctor's office. I'm going to sneeze here in a second. Okay. Now this first one, if and it was all declines all the way, and I'll show these declines, and then I had to shut Uber off. But if I would have taken any of these, probably this first one. So that pin location is about like where I was heading to. So I could have made, instead of making no money on my trip up to Hilliard, I could have made $8.56. But driven a little bit more mileage than I did drive. So, because I had, you see there, I had to drive to get to the pickup, the Dunkin' Donuts. I had to drive like 4 or 5 miles east away from the direction I was traveling. And you see here, I'm on the outer belt, and the doctor's office is just a mile off of the outer belt. So, but I declined it. And then, like I said, the orders got worse after that. $6, 11 miles going in the opposite direction. I don't even know what this place is. Playa Bowls Quarry Trail. Never heard of that. If it's a restaurant or whatever it is, never heard of it. 3 minutes later, CVS, $11, 13 miles. Look at where that's going. I'm still heading north on the outer belt. That's going like way out of the way. That's going back past, like, that's going east and past downtown Columbus. So absolutely not. Here's that Playa Bowls again, 650, 10 miles decline. And then here I took this screenshot while I was sitting in the doctor's office. This is on Roadie. This is the most jobs that I've seen at one time on the map. Like, I opened up Roadie, sitting there and saw this. I was like, holy crap. Most of it, I clicked on like 6 or 7 of these. Most of it was like $6 and $7 CVS orders. And that's like I said before, that's about all I see on Roadie. I see like the $6 and $7 CVS and like $8 or so Home Depots, and I just never. And then the one order that I've done for them on the day I got activated was like a $6 CVS. I mean, and But anyway, it worked out really good for me at the doctor's office because I stood up at the reception window and I was meaning to just drop the forms off for the doctor to sign later. But the doctor saw me standing there and come up to, and she knew why I was there and got the paperwork from me and said, "Hey, if you got a minute and I can work on this now if you want to wait right here." I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And so sat down, took this screenshot or whatever, just waited in there about 5-10 minutes or whatever, and she had that done and gave it back to me, and sweet, got that taken care of. Now leaving the doctor's office and coming back to zone, and I had just gotten off the exit off the interstate and just like back into zone when I get this $5.50 2.5 mile Wendy's. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Good timing on getting this order. Like I said, right when I got back. Get to Wendy's and then next screenshot. Check it out, folks. First ever time I see it in my zone, the smart scale. Woohoo! I it's nothing exciting. I'm just being stupid here, but I'll find it and I'll throw a link in the description to this video. But a while back, I did a video on the smart scales and how DoorDash was rolling those out. And, I wonder when I'll ever see it in my zone or yada yada. And I saw it today. One other thing to mention about this order is when I pulled in and got out of my car, there was like a pop up, make sure something. You see those pop up, make sure the drinks are with the order, make sure the desserts are with the order. This pop up might have said something about the smart scale. But I just assumed that, and I'm kind of bad about this, but I just assumed it was, make sure there's drinks in the order, make sure there's napkins in the order, utensil, what, I figured if it was one of those messages, and then I just closed it out. So like I said, it could have said something about the smart scale, and I wish I would have taken a moment to, look at that and maybe screenshot it, on my end, this was just like a regular pickup. I didn't have to do anything different picking up this order. I thought maybe there might be a message like after I click arrived that well maybe it did say make sure the staff weighs it. Um, and I just closed it out and didn't read it. Um, but the store staff did weigh this, so they did set the sack on there, waited a couple seconds, looked at that little screen there, it was good to go, and then gave me the order. So it was weighed. And again, first time I've seen the smart scale. Delivered that at 9:35. So this took 12 minutes start to finish. 12 minutes made $5.50. $2 from DoorDash, $3.50 tip. I took this $7, 5 mile McDonald's. Don't remember where this one went to. And then again, let's see. Yeah, I forgot to shut off the Uber. I probably wouldn't have taken this order anyway, even if I hadn't been on the McDonald's. $13, 15 miles, going. Oh wow, that I just now noticed this. This is going way out there. It's almost like near East Main Street. So No, this would have been a decline. Delivered that McDonald's at 10:10, so that was exactly 20 minutes for $7. No, not bad. $2 and $5 tip. This was a decline. Not going out to Obet's for only $11.25. I'm sorry. Even though it's just three items from Target, not doing it. I wouldn't have even done a I wouldn't have even done a food order for that, where I just had to like, even if I just had to pick up like one drink from a restaurant, I wouldn't have driven out to Obet's for just $11 at this particular time. This I kind of took against my better judgment. This isn't a great order, but so here's the deal on this. So 844, 7.5 miles, Starbucks. It's delivering to like Beulah Park area. And I was kind of wanting to possibly shut things down around 11, and I was kind of craving Little Caesars pizza, which is near this drop off. So that's kind of mainly why I did it. Let me go ahead and do this. This is going to take me close to 11 o'clock. You know, I'm kind of slow today. I might not get another order, and you know, I'll just shut it down at 11 and go to Little Caesars. Um, so I pick up this, and I did not get a screenshot of when I delivered it, but this delivered right around 10:50, so 25 minutes for 844. You know, not really that great, but it, like I said, it got me over to the area that I was wanting to be at, and delivered to the like a hair salon in the new shops at Beulah Park. So very first delivery to those shops. Um, there's probably going to be, I don't know, 7 or 8 different businesses there when it's all said and done, but like right now it's still under construction, and there's only a couple things open there. So like I said, I dropped this off at 10:50, and I park in the little parking lot there. And my plan is I don't really expect to get anything else, and my plan is to shut the apps down at 11, you know, in 10 minutes, and head over to Caesars. And I get this, totally caught off guard. A, a catering order comes in at 10:53, like 7 minutes before I'm going to shut things down. Just, you know, caught off guard with this. 17.25 hidden tip. You know, when you see a hidden tip on a catering order, it's probably going to pay at least 25, 30, you know, or more, you know. My highest ever paying one was like $86 for a single Chipotle catering order. So this gonna pay some money here. So absolutely, even though I'm on the opposite side of my zone, but that, hey, that doesn't matter. Even still, it's only, you see here on the offer, it's still under 5 miles total, even though I'm on the other side of zone. So absolutely. And Little Caesars can wait. And I'll take this. It would be my last order. Okay, so I head over to Chipotle, and as I'm after I accept the order, I get this uh, message here. You scored a catering order. Let's get you set for success. Hand the order directly over to the customer. Don't leave the food unattended. Call support about any questions or issues. handle, this is the one I wanted to say something about. Handle any setup necessary at delivery. Now, it used to be when I was on the original, catering order program, it used to be that if you did not have to do any setups, um, unless there was and I only saw it like once or twice, where there were these offers that included an additional payment for setup, and it would be like an extra like $2 or $3 or something like that to do the setup. And like I said, I only saw like one or two of those, but it looks like now, judging from this, DoorDash is no longer doing that. I think they're expecting you to, if the customer would like you to set it up, to do a setup and not receive any additional pay for it anymore. So, kind of, on the one hand, it is kind of a little bit, DoorDash being a little chintzy, I think, on something like this. But on the other hand, on these type of orders, you're getting paid, good money to do this. It's not gonna kill you to go take, the extra step in customer service. And if the customer wants to set up, it's not going to kill you to, to set the stuff up and go the extra mile or whatever, because you're getting paid for this. So I don't have a problem with it. Keep access to future higher paying catering orders by giving your best effort. I try to, DoorDash. I try to always give my best effort. I kind of dropped the ball a little bit the other day, but I try. I took this screenshot, stopped at a light. I was just I was just a couple traffic lights away from the Chipotle, and I took this to show that a lot of times on these catering orders, you don't know what you're picking up. I don't know. It could be one or two of those Chipotle catering boxes. It could be 10 of those boxes that barely fit my car. I think my largest one was like 7 of those Chipotle catering boxes. I had like 4 in the trunk of my car and 3 stacked up in my back seat. But you just never know. Instructions, none. Estimated subtotal, 0. We have no idea whatsoever what I'm picking up from Chipotle. A little bit scary. It's kind of scary slash exciting at the same time, or it can be. So I get to Chipotle. I checked in with them, and then the app asked me for a picture of my catering bags. I had to, while they were still finishing up, I ran back out to my car, took the picture of the catering bag, come back in, and then the staff member was approaching me with the boxes. And it was just 2 boxes. So I took a picture. Here they are in my trunk, the 2 boxes, and then 1 sack of utensils. So hey, works for me. That's easy. Um, Still can't believe I got a catering order today. Crazy. And then I actually did like a setup on this one. So all the staff was like really nice to me and everything. They helped me and escorted me back to the room or whatever, and then I set the boxes down, and the customer signed for it, and then I said, "What do you want me to take any of this stuff out? Leave it just like this, or take this stuff out of the boxes?" Or she said, "Oh, well, you can do that?" Or I said, "Yeah, if you need me to, I can take the stuff out of the boxes and get rid of the boxes for you." And she's, "Yeah, sure, if you can do that, that'd be great." And um, There's my setup. The In the very back there, that you see, like, the three container is the lettuce, and then to the right of that is the corn salsa, and then to the right of that is the tomato salsa. There's a big and a little container of each. But on that, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe Chipotle on this one. But that larger container of the corn salsa, um, or something I can use. What about this right here? This makeup box. They had it, instead of like laying it flat in the box, they had it like this. I was like, come on, Chipotle. And it was leaking, and the box had a wet spot in the box and everything. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Unbelievable. But everything else was fine here. And I was really surprised on those, that you see it on the right hand side, that little bag is the tortilla shells. I don't know how many there were, but that didn't seem to be hardly any shells for all that food. But probably not everybody wanted a shell. So some of them were just probably putting the stuff into bowls, and so, and then the sack right here is the all the I just left that all that stuff in the sack, the utensils, bowls and stuff. I just left that in the sack. Um, and then there's the pay on that, $45.08. So the $8 from DoorDash and a $37 tip. So outstanding. And that just took me, that was 28 minutes. 28 minutes start to finish. And I forgot to mention the customer was pretty close, um, to the Chipotle, only about a mile away. It went to a medical offices. So yeah, easy. And then I went ahead and logged off. So there you see the second dash summary. Three deliveries for 57.58. So all total, so I dashed from around 5 a.m. to 11:21. So almost 6.5 hours. So the first dash was the two deliveries for 16.25. The three for 57.58. Uber was five deliveries for 48.53. So all total today was 10 deliveries for 122.36. So pretty good. And I drove 116 miles today. So I met goal. I was better than goal, and that's with driving to the doctor's office and back. That's with a trip to Hilliard and back. So without that, it would have I would have made this $122. It would have been under 100 miles, or probably under like 90 miles. Um, but uh, yeah, so a pretty good day today, and that is it for this dash. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and oh, and I can't believe I forgot to mention this also, but this blew me away. This is the what blew me away about today's dash, and if you noticed in all these screenshots, not one single Meyer offer today. And I was like, what? Like, what the heck? I'm like the Meyer shopping special. That's like my specialty. That's what I primarily do, is Meyer shopping orders. I do gig work on any given day. And let's say I do, like, I don't know, 8 orders for the day. Well, probably 4 or 5 is going to be Meyer. And to not do, not only to not do any, but not even to see a single offer. That was crazy today. That blew me away. I did notice, especially early in the shift, when I was just kind of bored and looking at the hot spots at the bottom of the app, it was showing Meyer as a hotspot, but not for me today. But anyway, that's it for today. We'll do this all again tomorrow. Thanks, guys, for watching. Be safe out there driving, and we'll catch you next time.